How are you doing on this special day? Keeping your motive in a special way. Yahuwah lost in our enemy's land to revolt the curse. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Forward to the gathering of the saints of Yah to the new Jerusalem. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. For 1,000 years in that great old kingdom of Yah, for the whole world to see. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom. Shemaiah is right, yeah. Let's celebrate him now. For the battle is already won. Oh, yes, it is. Whoa, Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom.
Who brought you out? were gone forth out of the land of Israel. The same day came they into the wilderness of Sinai, for they were departed from Rephidim, and were come to the desert of Sinai, and had pitched in the wilderness, and there Yasharel camped before the mountain. And Shemaiah went up unto Elohim, and Yah called unto him out of the mountain, saying, Thus shalt thou say to the house of Yaakov, and tell the children of Yasharel, You have seen what I did unto the Mizraimites, and how I bore you with eagle's wings, and brought you unto myself. Now therefore, if you will obey my voice indeed, and keep my covenant, then you shall be a peculiar treasure unto me, above all people, for all the earth is mine. You shall be unto me a kingdom of priests, and a Kodesh nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Yasharel.
All right. Shabbat Shalom, Baruch Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Baruch Shabbat to all Israel today on this blessed Shabbat, the first day of the numerical first day, also new moon. So those of you that in conjunction. It's kind of coincidentally, right? But be that as it may, prayerfully you all had a good week this Shabbat, and had a good week this week. I want to be brief today. I'm not going to be lengthy like I usually am. Had death in the family, so I'm gonna have to cut down right at the mark, right at the 11 o'clock or the two hour mark. So this lesson is going to be in two parts. I'm not going to be able to cover the full throttle in one part. So let me say my greetings here real quick. We got Afro-Asiatic. Let's see. I think my mic is off, isn't it? Oh, is my mic off? Can you all hear me? Greetings here real quick. Okay, sounds like it's all right. Okay. Yeah, so have death in the family. So I'm going to go to be with the family today. So for those of you that have offered your prayers and condolences, the second cousin of mine, but she was like a first cousin, and she just made 70 this year. So so this lesson is going to be two-part. I'm going to jump right in so we can get started. So those that come on later on can catch back up with us as we progress into the lesson. For some reason or other, my audio sounds far away. Mic check. Must be something to do with my headsets. Let me see something here real quick. Oh, that's what it is, my headsets. Let's see. There we go. Now I can hear myself. Okay. All right. Let's see. So we're going to jump right in. Our Black History, I worked, you guys, so I didn't have any production time this week. I woke up this morning, and so I kind of went over my notes. So just kind of bear with me. So prayerfully it'll come out the way that I desired to come out, but if not, just charge to my head, not to my heart, because once again, your brother works a 13-hour day shift, 6 days, because I'll work on the first day of the week. So, but have to do that for now to financially be able to just try to stay current, at least. Maybe in the future some things will die down and I'll get caught up. But right now, I'm just kind of staying current. Got so far behind being out on an injury for almost a year and then never really fully recovered from that. So let's go to our Black History. I don't have my Black History window here. Do I? Let me see. Do I have it? Let me see. Hold on a second. Do I have my Black History background? Let me see. Hold on. If not, yeah, I don't know. I wasn't prepared, but I don't have it. Okay, I don't have my Black History background, so I'll just kind of go with the black screen. Where am I here? Black History. Let's see. Let me bring my camera up. Okay. How come I can't find my camera? That's amazing. I can't find my camera. Oh, there we go. Okay, all right. Okay, all right. So we're going to do Black History, and I'm just going to go ahead and quote so you all can catch up. I'm going to do a quote from Jean Barbot. Jean Barbeau. The book is entitled A Description of the Coast of North and South Guinea by Jean Barbeau, copyright 1732. And I guess I could do this here. Let me see if I can bring this up here. Matter of fact, let's try this here. Okay, let's see. Okay. Did I do that right? Okay, here we go. Let's try this here. Okay, there we go. So this is Jean Barbeau. A description of the coast. You see this long title, Description of the Coast of North and South Guinea and Ethiopia Inferior, vulgarly Angola, ... Big title for a book. Okay, it's copyright 1732. This is page 307. I'm going to read this quote right here. He says, "Many things I have already said and shall have occasion to add hereafter seem to prove some conformity between those blacks and the ancient Jews." Can I get an explosion there? All right. So now, in the same book, we're going to go to another page here. Let's see, what page do I want to go to in the same book? We're going to go to page page 9. I got page 9. So let's go to page 9, the same book. Okay. Okay. Page 9. Let's see if I can get there. Okay, I must got the wrong page. I got the wrong page. I said page 9. There's no page 9 here. Where's page 9? Okay. I'm just going to read the quote. The quote. Okay, the quote is on page 9. It says, let me see if I can find, hold on a second. I got a keyword here. Let's see. That's not it. Let's see. Hold on a second. These books are written. Okay, I got it now. I think. Okay, here it is. These old books are written in English, Old English, and it's hard sometimes to find stuff. Okay, this is page. Oh, it is page 9. I don't know why I couldn't find page 9. I must have had. Okay, anyway, right here it says. Let me zoom this in here. It says the blackness must be in the blood or race of Marmol argues can be further proved from this observation made that the Jews of Portuguese race, so now he's talking about the blackness, right? The Jews of the Portuguese race always marrying one with another, the children resemble their fathers and mothers' complexion. And thus this particular tawny color perpetuates itself with little or no dissemination wheresoever they inhabit, even in north countries. Okay, that's all I'm going to read there. All right. So Mr. Barbeau says that the Portuguese Jews were black and tawny. All right. Okay. Let's go to the next quote. Okay. We're going to go to Sir Harry S. Johnston. Now, I don't have the link for this one here, but I'm going to read the quote. Sir Harry S. Johnston. I'll show you my notes so you can see. He says the Edomites of Mesopotamia appear to have been a Negroid people with kinky hair and to have transmitted this racial type of the Jews and Syrians, right? There is a curliness of the hair together with the Negro eye and full lips. What's the Negro eye? In the portrait of a Syrian, which conveys the idea of an evident Negro element in Babylonia. Right? There you go, your Babylon, right? Quite probably the very ancient Negro invasion of Mediterranean Europe, of which the skeletons of the Alps Maritimes are vestiges, came from Syria and Asia Minor on its way to Central and Western Europe. It is possible that in or on the verge of Arabian, the ancient basal stock of the generalized Negro parted, right? Divided into two great streams of divergent immigration, one to proceed to Europe via Syria and the other to pass through Arabia to Egypt and tropical Africa. In Arabia or Egypt, it may be arose the difference between the long-headed African Negro and the rounder, shorter-headed Bushman, the last name becoming more habited than his conjurers to the life in deserts or scrubby open countries, right? Okay. The last quote I'm going to read is Godfrey Higgins in his book entitled Anacalyptus, Volume 2, copyright 1836, on page 364. It reads on this wise: in consequence of the prejudice, for it is really prejudice against the Negro, or I ought rather to say against the possibility of a Negro being learned and scientific, arising from the acquaintance with the present Negro character. I admit with great difficulty the theory of all the early astronomical knowledge of the Chaldees have been acquired or invented by his race, and that the Chaldees were originally what? Negroes. All right, so that concludes our Black History quotes for the day. And we're going to continue. Please pardon me, brothers and sisters. I try to do the best I can with my time. So, I got one contribution last week, but hey, I got bills that comes in and your brother got to get out and work. So I have to, in between, find some time to get preparation for the Shabbat lesson, because I'm a working Hebrew. I'm a working Morite. Unlike some other brothers, that's their whole week. They just spend time in the library. I don't have that time. Okay. So please pardon me for not being organized with my Black History presentation. So once again, hey, it is what it is. All right. Now, let's see. So Shabbat Shalom to those that just came in and posted in Lion Pride, and Brother Dollars, Brother Andre, my brother Tresky. Good to see you, my brother. Much love to you down there in Jacksonville. Tell Coach Cynthia we said Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. And who's that? Brother Jason. Good to see you, my brother. And told for that light. He said I'm doing great. And the thing is that when you know your potential, and you're not on point, it's really, because I'm a perfectionist, right? So, but then, the thing is, when you operate with a certain limited time, you have to sometimes I'm faithful to be in my spot. So I'm here. All right. So with that said, brothers, this is part one of, if Esau's not the white man, then who is he? If Esau's not the white man, then who is he? So we're going to jump right in, right? So we're going to open up first with Psalms 83, and we're going to read that. We are very familiar with Psalms 83. So we're going to open up with Psalms 83, and we're going to start, it's called the Confederacy, right? So Psalms 83, right? We're going to learn some stuff today.
We're going to learn today.
All right, so Psalms 83, it says, keep not thou silence, O Yah, and hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yah. So that's the prayer that we praying today in these lands of captivity. Now, I had a brother that commented on one of my videos and said Deuteronomy 28 was already fulfilled. It don't have nothing to do with us. I said, and he posted some verses. I said, well, you just proved my point, because the captivities wasn't a one-shot deal or perpetual. That's what it says. And if you read the whole chapter, 28 talks about perpetual. These signs shall be upon thy seed and a wonder, right? Forever. Right? So you can't make the prophecy be fulfilled in one shot, because the Most High, Israel, kept going into captivity. And apparently this person don't subscribe to this channel, because he would make such a foolish statement, right? I was going to say a foolish, unprecedented statement. Because there are some people that do make foolish statements, right? But he wouldn't have made that statement if he followed his channel, because we already talked about the perpetual curses and the perpetual captivity. Israel kept going into captivity. That's what the Israelites, they comprehended that when the Most High told them in Deuteronomy 20. They knew that wasn't one shot. They knew that every generation that rose up was going to go into another captivity if they disobeyed the covenant, right? All right. So, hold on a second. Afro Ajax, I'm gonna have to put you in timeout, my brother, because this is not your time to teach, right? It's your time to learn. You here, so you here to learn, not to teach, all right?
We're going to learn today.
All right, so there's only one teacher at a time, right? You want to have a conference with me, and you want to dialogue with me, you want to debate with me, then there's a time for that. Right now is not the time for that. So if you keep posting stuff, I'm gonna put you in timeout. I'm gonna let you slide for now. If I see you keep posting stuff and interrupting the lesson, I'm gonna put you in timeout. All right. So I don't come on your channel and interrupt you while you streaming live. I'm not going to tolerate that. I'm gonna just start throwing some people out on top of their head like we used to do in Pal Talk. All right. So this is not time for you to do your lesson, right? If you want to build your channel, you build your channel, right? We've been on this channel for almost 12 years. So we got close to 4,000 subscribers. And, you know, so if you want to build your channel the way you build it, right? You want to invite me on your channel, invite me on your channel. You need some, I'm not against helping people to build a channel. You know, sometimes we network. It's nothing wrong with networking to get to build your channel up, right? A lot of these brothers know that. That's why they want to invite me on their show, because they know if somebody, hey, they got 20, 30, 40, 100,000 subscribers, and they come and they see me on their channel, guess where they're going to come? They're going to come to this channel. So they're not going to have me. So people like IUIC and all of them, they ain't going to have me on their channel. They're not going to do it. They ain't going to do it. All right, back to where I was. Okay. Now, so Psalms 83 says, for lo, verse 2, for lo, the enemies make a tumult. They that hate thee have lifted up the head, right? So the thing of it is that the more that we identify that we Israel, the more the haters are going to come out the woodworks. You're going to have people that's going to question and challenge you. You're going to have your Christian friends that are going to question and challenge you. Okay, well, look. He said he's not trying to build a channel. Okay, fine. But then this is not the place for you to teach, okay? So if you want to teach, my brother, you know, this is not the place to teach, right? The teacher is on the screen right now, all right? Now, through the Ruach, okay? Now, so the enemies, we have many enemies, brothers and sisters. The more we come into the knowledge that we Israel, we have all kinds of haters that come. We got the conscious community coming with that Kemet foolishness, right? We got the Moorish Americans coming with that. We're gonna cover them in this lesson too. You got people telling us that we in a cult, all kinds of stuff. So the enemy is coming from every angle because the enemy does not want Israel to return to the covenant. Okay, my brother, I'm just gonna have to. I'm gonna have to time you out, my brother, because you're being distracting right now. Okay, all right, you can sit on in and listen. Okay, but time out. Okay, all right, we're not gonna have that because we're putting too much information out here to have people distracting the lesson. That's the trick of the enemy. The enemy don't want the truth to get out. So I'm gonna keep moving. All right. Now, where was I at? So we have enemies, right? Enemies, they're enemies of Yah and they hate Yah. So to prevent the plan of Yah from going forward, what better way to prevent the plan of Yah from going forward but to hide, right? To hide the identity of the people that the Most High cut a covenant with. That's the reason why they don't want you to know you Israel, because they don't even know they're being used by the enemy to do what they do. But Satan has anointed these conscious community movements to distract, to deflect us, the people who were called by the Most High, from returning back to obedience to the covenant. That's what it's about. It ain't about color or none of that. It ain't about our pride. It's about us returning to the covenant to be the people that the Most High called us to be. That's the reason why we have attacks, right? All right. We see it happen all the time, right? Now, back in. He says, they have taken crafty counsel, right? Against thy people. See, they have taken crafty counsel. That's what all of these religious movements are, crafty counsel. We're going to show you probably next week. I'll probably pull some quotes out to show you that Christianity was imposed, right, on the people of the book to distract us, to keep us out of the covenant, because Christianity, what's the main doctrine of Christianity? We're not under the law, we're under grace. It was breaking the law that caused us to go into captivity. So why would the Most High do away with the law and give us grace if he threw us into captivity because we broke the law? It makes no sense, right? So we got to get under the bonds of the covenant, right? Coach Sherry, Shabbat Shalom to you, my sister. All right, now, let's go back in here. So they have taken crafty, let's break it down real quick. Crafty, Aram. Crafty, the word crafty is the word Aram, right? Which means to make bare, right? To strip. To make bare, to strip. Through smoothness, to be cunning, right? So all my Christian friends, Christianity, Islam, Kemet, the African religions, Sister Vicky Dillard, talk black to me. They're all distractions, right? To deflect the reality that we are those chosen people. And what is it that we've done for us to be scattered to the four corners everywhere we go? We got different identities. We want to be everything else but who we are. The sons and daughters of the covenant that broke that covenant, that's returning back to the covenant. We want to be everything but that, right? Let's continue. So he said they've taken crafty, they've taken smoothness, they've stripped us of our identity like they did Kunta. I know that was a movie. documentary, but that the application of that is true, right? Whether Kunta Kinte existed as a person or not, the reality of the matter is there were many people who were treated like Kunta Kinte, who were stripped of their identities, who were stripped of their name. We were stripped of our name, brothers and sisters. We took on the names of the slave masters, right? And so to this very day, many of us, we're trying to get back to our identity. That's why you see all these new names now coming up. People don't know. I ask people all the time. I say, I meet people all the time that got Yah in their name. I said, do you know what your name means? No. You got Yah in your name. You don't know what your name means? I mean, spelt with a Y. I had to educate them and tell them, your mother, father, whoever they are, apparently the Most High put Yah in their spirit and they name you Aisha with a Y. I'm telling you, I run into it every day, brothers and sisters. People got Yah and don't know why their mother named them, their father, and whoever named them that with the Yah in there. Because the Most High is bringing us back to our identity. It's not about religion, right? Hebrew Israelite is not a religion. We got a lot of people that are Hebrew conscious, but they have a form of religion. But the Hebrew covenant is a way. It's not a religion. It's a way to live, right? Okay, let's go back in here. So they've taken crafty counsel. The word counsel is the word company, right? The word sod, a session that is a company of persons in close deliberation, by implication, intimacy, consultation, and a secret. Man, so you see people like Dr. Michael Brown and all these other people, vocab alone, that want to try to discredit who we are. And y'all African, y'all not Hebrew Israelites, right? It's a crafty counsel, right? It is a consultation, right? They study. That's why people like vocab alone spend so much time on the Hebrew Israelite channel, because they're trying to learn how they can debunk to keep us in disobedience to the Most High, so we can remain in these captive lands, because they know that the prophecy said that we're going to be returned back to our land and we're going to rule this whole planet. Everybody that hate us is going to have to report to us. When I was in corporate America, I told my manager he was tripping. And I said, today you're on the other side of the table. I said, but there's going to come a day when you're going to be on this side of the table and I'm going to be where you are. He turned red when I said that. I said, I see the bigger picture. This is not about religion, about you feeling good and all of that and shouting and dancing and singing songs. We do all that. There's nothing wrong with that. But the Most High didn't call us to emotionalism and to religion. But many of us have religion. That's what we have, right? Okay. We have to understand clearly, right, what the scripture was given to us for, not to be religious and to prove to people that we got something that we don't have. But when we wear fringes and stuff like that in our garbs, this is to make people look and ask questions, right? What's that on the bottom of your shirt, brother? Why are you wearing that, right? We do that because, number one, it's part of the covenant. Number two, it promotes questions. When I go around my family today, they're going to see my friends. I know somebody going to ask me, well, what's the meaning of that? That's going to be good. I said, I'm going to tell them. You really want to know? Because you really want to know, right? Right? What my guy say? You really want to know, right? Uh-oh. He's gone now. My clip is gone. I don't know what happened there. It disappeared on me. Okay. But you want answers, right? You want answers? I wish I had that clip. It disappeared. What happened to it? My clip done disappeared. It sure did. But you want answers, right? So when you wear the fringes, right? And when you wear the garbs and all of that, and when you wear anything that makes people look at you and you stick out, it's going to promote a question. They're going to ask you, what does it mean? What mean is this, right? All right, back to the text. So he said, they have they have taken crafty counsel, right? Intimacy, consultation, and sessions. So they study. Y'all better know that the right wing and the left wings are studying the Israelites. They study us. They make merchandise out of us, right? They watch us, they study us so they can figure out how we can capitalize off of them, right? All right. Taking crafty counsel against thy people, right? Against thy people. That's who we are, the people. And have consulted, this word here, consulted is yachts, to advise, reflectively to deliberate or resolve. So they create policies and laws to try to keep us. That's why a job sometimes is a restriction to your Hebrew way of life, because if you're distracted by having to work all the time, you're not going to have a lot of time to get before Yah to where you can have some clarity about some things that's going on in your personal life, to get some direction, because ultimately the Most High wants us to be successful and to succeed, right? All right, but the enemy wants us to think, oh, well, we in captivity, brother. We're gonna remain poor because we in captivity, right? Okay, no, not necessarily, right? Some of our positions where we are today is based off of our decisions. Let me say that again, right? Some of our positions today, where we are today, is based off of our decisions we made in the past. Okay? We blame everything on the devil. When you make a decision, the Most High is smarter than we are, right? He made a decision. He gave us the ability to make a decision. And with every decision, there is a reaction, a repercussion. So if you decide to walk away from your job without means to pay for your bills, know what the repercussion is? Bills piling up. So you got to pose a solution. Okay, all right. How am I going to pay these bills, right? I just might have to get out there and get a second job until I can get my head above the waters, right? All right, let me get back because I want to get to the lesson, all right? Okay, now, all that's relevant, though. All right, so now, they take crafty counsel. They've consulted, right? They have yachts consulted against, right? The hidden ones. That's the word Safan, right? Safan, hidden. Hide by covering over, by implication to hoard or reserve. Figuratively to deny, specifically to protect, unfavorably to lurk, right? Don't that describe us real good? In every form of that definition of that word, right? We've been hidden, brothers and sisters, right? I remember, you know, what was the kicker to me about knowing that I'm an Israelite from a small age? I used to always wonder why the black people have it hard, right? Or why everybody hate us, want to keep us oppressed, want to give us the leftovers, right? I used to wonder that, right? And when I started reading the Bible, the Old Testament as they call it, and I was like, I can relate to these people and the oppression that they went through. And I said, man, that sounds like us. And that was the beginning of my journey when I was in middle school. I'm talking about 50 years ago. All right. So he said, they have taken crafty counsel against thy hidden ones. They have said, come. That's the word halak, to walk. It says to walk in application. So they're walking, you know how it says Satan in the book of Job. We're gonna cover Job too in this lesson too. We're gonna bring some stuff out about Job. You know, Job was an Edomite, right? So much for the Edomite doctrine. Esau can't be saved. One of the books written in the 66 books was the life of an Edomite named Job. All right, now, so they said, "Come, let us cut them off from being a nation." That right there ought to make you think. It ought to click. Wait a minute. Who are the one people on the whole planet that's not a nation? I remember Moray Josiah said that years ago. He said, "We not a nation, we a people." Because we always used to say the nation of Israel. We not a nation. Because to be a nation, you have to have a land that is yours, where you run the government. We don't have a nation. We are citizens of another nation. We're Americans, Canadians, Englanders. Even in Africa, you got the Afrikaners running everything down there. We're not a nation, brothers and sisters, right? So they said, "Come, let us cut them off from being a nation," right? Come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. Now, I saw somebody comment something. Juan said, right, and D Dollar says, "Funny how the people in the hood use Yah in the name." They do. They use Yah in the name. Don't even know why. That's right. Juan, I know you didn't threw a cheap shot and ran. That's what they do. They see a title or video, and it's pricking their heart, and then they have something to say. Before I read the comment, I can pretty much tell you what he's gonna say. But anyway, he says, "You speak of skin color. Skin color doesn't matter. You will judge by judging others on skin color. The color of the deity Gad, holy energy, is the same with us. The skin is only a shell." Right. So Juan, Mr. Troll passing by, he just want to throw a shot and run. You ain't listened to a damn thing I said yet. But you got something to say. But you got your mouth, your chops going. You ain't heard not one damn thing I said on this channel. I said nothing about skin color, right? So I want you to check yourself before you wreck yourself. All right. Now, so no, I mean, you don't have to defend me, Brother Dollars. The thing is that these people come in here with this foolishness, right? Don't even listen. A fool, I take it to the proverb on a fool. A fool utters all his mouth. A fool speaks on a matter before he comprehends it. So when you jump in a conversation and you just start talking, you proving yourself to be a fool. Okay, now let me get back to the lesson. All right. I know he's gone. He just threw a shot and kept running. Just in case he happens to come back to the video. Don't be a fool your whole life, Brother Wine. Okay, now. They have said, "Come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel," right, "may be no more in remembrance." So now, the name of Israel. Now, when you think about it, right, brothers and sisters. Oh, he's here. Okay, all right. Stay around, Brother Wine.
You're going to learn today.
All right. So listen to a matter before you speak, right? That's the number one rule of learning. Listen first and then speak. Or speak, like if you're in a classroom and if your teacher says something and they ask you to respond, then respond. But don't just throw out I mean, if you was in a university classroom, you just threw out something while the teacher's teaching, what would that teacher do to you? He's going to ask you why you being disrespectful in the class by just throwing stuff out there. Right? So I'm like the teacher. Okay. So if you got questions about something that I said, that's different. But if you're going to assume that I said something, then you're not listening to me clearly. You're missing the whole point, right? Okay, now. So the Most High said that he said that they said, let us cut them off from being a nation that the name of Israel. Oh, the point I'm making a revelation. Israel doesn't exist today. The name. Let me say that again. Y'all better listen to this real close. The name Israel does not, the people. Israel doesn't exist today. Right? So that name has been cut off. Because Israel is called a place. And the people that live in that place, they don't even call it Israel. They call it what? Palestine. Wow, man. They call it Palestine. So the name has been cut off. The people had, now we are bringing that name back because we realize we are Israel. We call ourselves Hebrew what? Israelites, because we are embracing the name. We are fulfilling Psalms 83 where we're bringing that name back. Putting it back on the map. We're the only people that in the world that call ourselves Hebrew Israelites. Right. All right. Now, Juan wants to do a lesson. Juan says, I can't read this small, Merneptah steel. I guess he's talking about the Rosetta Stone. Proving Israel's 3,200-year existence, King David's biblical reign did not involve ruling over territory, area, not a nation called Palestine. Instead, he ruled over a kingdom. That's correct. Of Israel and Judah, with Jerusalem as its capital, and its conquests were focused on the surrounding regions, including Philistine city. Now, you're right. You're correct. So I guess you're kind of validating my point I just made. So Toda Rabah for that, right? I don't have a problem with people commenting with the lesson and going with the lesson to confirm. Or if you have a question about something that I said, that's what the comments are for. Don't be afraid to say a comment. But look, if you say something is wrong, I'm not going to agree with it if it's wrong. As a matter of fact, if I have to go off the lesson to prove that you're wrong, I will. But if you say something, if I say something and you confirm, I have no problem with people doing that, right? You agree? If I said something and a scriptural verse comes to reference, post a scripture reference, right? Okay. Told everybody for that. Shabbat Shalom, Coach Sherry. Good to see you. Yeah, right. Thought I'd rub for that. All right, now she said be respectful. That's right. That's right. That's my admin. One of my admins right there, stepping up to the plate. All right, let me get back in here. So now, so the nation has been cut off, right? The people, right? The nation, is the people. Are the people. I said are the people, right? Let us cut them off being a nation that the name of Israel, the name, right? The name of Israel has been cut off, right? Not only the name, because we can get technical, name meaning the literal name, but name also means what? Authority. So you can't have one without the other. Name and authority. Israel has no authority, right? All right. And it has been, it has been lost in remembrance. Now, 1948 was not a fulfillment of that, of Israel coming back. That's the narrative that they throw at you. They want you to believe. There's no prophecy in the book that talks about a people going back to a land without the king. All right, now verse 5. For they have consulted together, that's the word yats again, with one consent, right? That's the word yakab. It's like I think a plural form of ekad or akad, which means one, right? Akad means unified, united, right? They have come yakad, they are confederate, they are what? Berith, right? They made a covenant. That's what berith means, a covenant, a cutting, right? So the nations have made a covenant against the people there's only one people who fit that prophetic utterance, right? We just happen to be called so-called Negroes, right? But we have many names because some of us went to different places. We lost the label Negro, right? Some of us call ourselves Haitians and Cubans and Puerto Ricans and Jamaicans and Brazilians, Moroccoans, right? You got some people that went to Spain. They still call themselves Spaniards. They know they ain't no Spaniard. They in the country of Spain, but that's not their heritage, right? All right, now. Right. That's right. Like the Gentiles said, 1948, the year that Japheth came into, right. Actually 48 was a fulfillment of Genesis 9. Japheth shall dwell in the tents of Shem. All right. Now, so he said, they have consulted with one consent and are confederate, right? They have cut a covenant against thee. Now, here's where we get into the description, right? I'm going to start right at the top because we asked the question, people asked the question, who is Esau, brother? Right? If Esau is not the so-called white man, then who is Esau? Right? First off, remember, we already proved that the One West Camp doctrine of Edomite being the so-called white man has so many holes in it. Right? You put that sucker in the water, it go right to the bottom of the ocean. Because we talked about red. Red cannot refer to Edom if the same red Admoni doesn't refer to David, doesn't refer to Shalomo, doesn't refer to the first man Adam, doesn't refer to the Nazarites because they're called ruddy. And also, did you know in the book of 15th chapter of the book of Esther, in the Apocrypha, they refer to her as being ruddy, right? Let me see if I can pull it up real quick for you. Y'all probably never seen that before. Let me see. Hold on a second. Hold up a second while I pull this up, right? Okay. Let's do it. Let's go to, I'm gonna have to change okay, there we go. Let's go to Esther 15, right? I'm gonna put it on the screen so you can see it, right? Okay, now. It's 15, where is it? And okay, this is 15 and 7. Esther 5 and 2, or 15 and 7. It reads on this way. It says, Then lifting up the countenance that shone with majesty, he looked very fiercely upon her, talking about Hadassah or Esther, and the queen fell down and was pale and fainted and bowed herself upon the head of the maid that went before. And let me see, wait a minute. I lost my place here. Hold on a second. What verse was that? That wasn't the verse. 5, verse 5. Okay. Verse 5. Okay. Got it. Okay, 5 up here. I missed it right here. It says, and she was ruddy through the perfection of her beauty, and her countenance was cheerful and very amiable, but her heart was in anguish for fear. Boom. Right? So Hadassah was described as being ruddy. So we proved that that phrase red does not refer to a so-called white man as the camps teach, because if it means red, a so-called white man, then every time we see it in the biblical text, we're talking about so-called white men. We've also proved that the theory that Esau is Rome has holes in it because it came from the Talmudic Judaism. They're the ones that started teaching that, and all the other people that wrote books about that was quoting from the Talmudists. So we proved that the origin of that is false. We also proved that Esau, that you call Esau, all the authors of the books that you quote said they are Khazars. And we proved to you that Khazaria, the Khazars, didn't come from Shem, but they came from Japheth. Right? Now, so, and then we talk about Second Ezra that you always quoting all the time. Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is he that follows. Right? So if the world in John 3:16 is talking about the Israelite world, then Esau is the end of the world. It's talking about the end of the Israelite reign. Bam. Not the end of the world at large, using your analogies now. So if Esau is the end of the world, that means he is the end of the Israelite world. Or the Israelite rule. Because after Esau ruled, there was never another Israelite king that ruled after the Herod dynasty. Israel has never had a king from the line of Yehuda. That's facts. Shabbat Shalom. Who is it? Yahweh ben Israel. Good to see you, my brother. Blessing to you and your household. Light said, I guess Esther was blonde hair and pale skinned woman. By the camps, I guess, huh? Joan is another one that's coming in here not listening. Joan, don't come in here with that. When you go into your classroom, and I know you're an educated person, and your teacher's teaching, do you interrupt the teacher and assume stuff? Because see, if I was your college university teacher, and you threw something out there like that, I'd bring you up to the front of class and ask you, what in my dissertation did you get that from? Put you on the spot. So, okay. Okay. Joan. Israel's black. If you want to go there, I'm gonna tell you, the so-called Negroes, and I didn't say black, I said Negroes, and I basically specifically said they're known as different things. But apparently you wasn't listening to me. So, but the fact of the matter is that Israel were black, and the Jewish people will admit that. Now, when did they become white? Ask Dr. Michael Brown. Let him explain that to you. All right, now back to the regular scheduled program. All right. So now, Wow. So we proved that Esau, right, is not the so-called white man as the camps teach, right? Okay. Now, let's go into something. I want to, how much time I got? Man, where's my clock at? Okay, I got an hour left. All right, got an hour. I got less than an hour to get in where I want to go. Okay. I appreciate that. Like the Gentiles said to the sister, you can't understand scriptures without knowing the nations. That's a fact. So, Sister Joan, is that McSweeney? McSweeney? I don't know if you're Christian or not, but stick around. You're going to learn today, right?
You're going to learn today.
All right, now. So, everything is about prophecy. So, if you're a Christian and you love Jesus, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. That came out funny. I didn't mean it funny. It came out funny. Okay. Well, first, I'm laughing because y'all know we don't call the Messiah Jesus. Okay. Okay. Now, but if you are a Christian, and I remember when I went to UK, I'm going to say this, I'm going to get back to the lesson because I can go talk about stories. I was doing a tour in UK. It was sister and brother Cecil and sister Leona invited me to, they're Hebrew Israelites in UK, invited me to, they paid my way to UK to do a conference. And a sister, a Christian sister got up, said she was involved in prophecy, and said she was called to the tribe of Judah. And I said, you were? She said, yeah. I said, if I show you who the tribe of Judah was, and you said you are called to them, I said, then you need to do your job, right? Because when you say to use the term Jew, you're making reference to one tribe. But Jew is not a reference to one tribe. It's not a reference to the whole nation. It's a reference to the tribe of Judah, right? So when you go through the tribe of Judah, you'll see who the Judites lived amongst, right? Okay, now, since you mentioned color, right? It was not in my note, but I will deal with this, okay? So now, Esau, we proved Esau was not a so-called white man, because if Esau was a so-called white man, right, then he married African identical people who just happened to be black. My sister Joanne. So let me ask you a question. Since you listen, she says she's on y'all's team. Okay, good. Ham, right? Was he an African man, or was Ham a European man? I didn't know. I didn't say color, because you have some Europeans that are melanated, just like you have some Africans who are non-melanated, right? So now, that's my question to you, my sister, right? And I'm not gonna sit there and wait for the answer, because I'll keep looking at the comments. Okay, so I'm gonna give you the answer. Right, Ham was an African, right? He was what we would consider African. He was a Hamite, dark complected people, right? All those people, the Hamites, Esau married a Canaanite who was a descendant of Ham. His children would look like the Hamites, the African people. So Esau wouldn't look like a European, okay? Secondly, the Israelite nation intermarried amongst Egyptians who were from Ham, African people. They married the Canaanites who were from African people. Matter of fact, the land of Canaan is the land of Israel. People that sojourn there, according to Judges chapter 3. So if Israelites married Hamitic people, African people, then is it possible that the people that you call the so-called Negroes are relatives to those people that just so happen to fulfill a prophecy that says that you're going to be led captive into all nations, Luke 21:24? That the brother came at me with Deuteronomy 28, Like, look, brother, what about Luke 21:24? It said, "You shall be led captive into all nations." That was before. That was before Jeremiah. That was after Jeremiah, I should say. So you can't make those prophecies be fulfilled in the Tanakh that the world calls the Old Testament if Luke 21:24 was after that. And the Messiah himself said that Israel would be scattered to the four corners, led captive. Then he also prophesied that he would gather them from the four corners. Okay. All right. Now, we are all shades of wheat. See, that's the problem, Joan. A lot of people are religious and not realistic. When you fill out the Census Bureau, right, and you fill out your census and they ask you what's your ethnicity, right? Don't they have on that Negro, black? But y'all want to make it's not about color. Well, then they need to just drop all the labels. Let all the people live together in the same community. Stop jacking up the prices. The real estate prices are $500,000, $750,000, $1 million over here. But over here, the hood is cheaper, right? If it's no color, then drop all of that political garbage and let everybody dwell together. And then we'll agree, say, oh, there's no color. Until we see that, no, it's going to always be color. All right, now. So, all right. He said, while y'all on color, y'all seem guilty. Guilty. All right. Now, I'm trying to get to the lesson, but people's taking me somewhere where, but the point I'm making in the lesson is that we proved that Esau was a Hebrew. And the ancients of Hebrews wouldn't be, quote unquote, white. All the authors say that, except for the modern authors try to flip the script. But the writers of antiquity tell you the truth, right? So stick around. Right. Okay, now. I want to get back to the lesson. So now, I said all this to say this, to set you up. To comprehend who Esau is, we have to first identify who he's not. Right? So we proved to you that Esau is from Shem, right? And the so-called white man is from Japheth, right? So everybody in prophecy, and this is not to make you feel bad. If you feel bad, it's because you choose to feel bad. This is truth. And that's the problem. People have a problem with truth and they feel bad, right? I got so-called white people in my family, right? So some of my nephews are married to European women. Big deal. You know, I don't have a problem. You married, you love who you love. Love knows no color line. Like nature knows no color line, right? That's your privilege to choose who you choose to love. That's your choice. Let Yah be the judge, not me. All right, now. So the Shemites, as we showed you, all the references were people of African Edenic stock, right? Okay. Now, let's go to Esau. Okay, now, so to begin with Esau, we're going to begin. I'm going to give you a link. You can go with me to this link, right? And this link, I'll put it in the chat. We're going to read together. And we're going to start with the Arabs, right? Because I'm going to give the answer to the riddle first. And then I'm going to prove my point. A coat, Sherry, Toda Rabah for that's a super chat. Super chat. Hallelujah. I praise Yah for that. And I'm not a religious person and say, oh, you can't make a contribution on the Shabbat. I don't find that in the scripture anywhere. Okay? Buying and selling. Nobody's buying anything. I'm not selling anything. So we got people that say you shouldn't transact money on the Shabbat, and they still don't give me any money off the Shabbat. So I don't listen to that religious rhetoric. Okay? Now, Baruch Shabbat, bless Shabbat, Akot Tanda Leah, Princess Leah, good to see you, my sisters. Now, so I gave you the answer, right? Esau would be classified genetically as an Arab. Let me say that again. The answer is Esau is not the so-called white man. Esau is an Arab. Okay. Now, we're going to define Arabs because most people don't comprehend what an Arab is. When you think of Arabs, you think of the Iranians and the Arab immigrants as the Arabs, right? That's not true, right?
You in danger, girl.
Right?
What you bringing to the table, brother?
That's right. We're going to prove to you. And I invite IUIC, GOCC, GMS, Sakari, I name them all out. I invite me on your channel. Y'all not gonna do it because y'all don't get no hits. They're not gonna do it. They peons, the new breeds, and doing this walk that sneak and watch us might go back and snitch and tell. He talking about y'all. They're not gonna invite me on their show because they know they can't prove me wrong. I got receipts, brother. Now, so I'm telling you straight up, right?
Wait a minute.
Esau does not exist as a nation, right? Now, how many nations, right? Let's do this real quick because I got some good stuff, y'all. I got some good stuff. Oh, it's hot. What I would do so real quick, right? How many European nations are there? Let's do this real quick, right? Because since they fully believe Esau is a so-called white man, right? Okay, how many European countries are there? Just say countries. They don't use the word nations no more. Okay. Oh, wow. So he says there are, got a couple. One says this, AI says this, and I have another writing that says something different. Okay. AR says there are 44 countries in Europe, right? So 44 nations, right? There are, and this one here said there are 50 countries in Europe, but only 44 of them have their capital city on the European continent. The largest country in Europe is Russia, followed by Ukraine and France, right? The smallest country is the Vatican City. Europe and Vatican City, about 0.44 square kilometers, 0.17 square miles. Okay, so now, those are nations, right? So the camps want me to believe that Esau was a white man that came from Idumea and went into Europe and has now 44 to 50 countries, nations. Say it ain't so, brother.
You in danger, girl.
Say it ain't so. It makes no sense that one group of people came from one landmass and populated the whole continent of Europe and America and rule in every nation. And we are supposed to believe that the Esau when the biblical text says that Esau was made small in Obadiah, right? So we talk about national reign. See, we're not talking about numerical value of people. We're talking about national reign. You got 50 countries in Europe that the so-called white man runs. So how can they be Esau? Okay, now, Esau's small. Let's put the scripture on it, right? All right. Let's go to Obadiah real quick. Okay. One chapter in Obadiah. All right. Let's see. Where is that here? 1. Obadiah 1. All right. Let's bring it up. Bring it up. The vision of Obadiah says, Yah, concerning Edom, we have heard a rumor from Yah, and an ambassador was sent among the heathens. Rise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathens, and thou art greatly despised. Now, question is, who is small and who are the heathens? And who is despising them? Right? A whole lot in that. Who was made small? If you say the so-called white man is Esau, they're not small because they got 50 countries. That's not small. Right? And he says, I'll make you small among the heathen. So who are they among? Right? They're not among. They're leading those nations. Right? If you're among somebody, it means you are a part of them. They're leading nations, brothers and sisters. Right? Now. So it can't be. It ain't so. It's a lie. It's a deception. Esau is not the European countries. Esau is not even Rome, right? We showed you that before the Romans was in the land of Italy, there was another people there. We're going to cover that in this lesson. Might not get to it today. Okay. Another people there in the land. All right. Now, so let's get back in here, right? Because we busting up some doctrine. We're gonna tear some walls down up in here, and some of y'all gonna have to leave IUIC and come on over here. I might have to start pastoring. I would need me a cabinet of people if I got that many people gonna start coming in here. All right, now let's see where we at. I passed the church. I know how to organize now. It's just Israelites is hard people to pastor. All right, now, so we have 50. So so now, probably you all got this link by now. I think let me post it one more time. Let me post this link one more time in here. And we're gonna start right here in the Arabs, right? So we have to comprehend who the Arabs are, right? So let's put this in the chat one more time. The link. I think maybe I didn't give you the link. I'm looking. Oh yeah, I did. I gave it way up. Okay. Let's see. Y'all ready? Matter of fact, this is a college course. All y'all doctors of divinity, invite them to come in because they're gonna learn today, right?
You're gonna learn today.
Invite the bishops to come in because the bishops gonna learn something today. Pastor's gonna learn something today, right? If you got some friends that's Jewish rabbis, invite them in because they're gonna learn something today, right? They all gonna learn.
You're gonna learn today.
So tell them come on in, right? Especially the campers, come on in. Remember Diamond Silk? You say, come on in. All right, now, come on in. Now, y'all ready? Okay. Like Farrakhan used to say, y'all all right? All right, here we go. All right, so we're going to go in here to to this is the reference is the John Brown's, I think he's Reverend John Brown. They got these big titles. A dictionary of the Holy Bible containing a historical account of persons, a geographical historical count and places, a literal, critical, and systematic description of other subjects, whether natural, artificial, civil, religious, or military, ... John Brown, and this was published in 1789 according to the record. Okay, this is volume 1, and this is on page 87 under the heading of Arabia. Okay, let me zoom this in so we all can see. Okay, let's blow this up here. Okay, let's slide this way. Okay, let's pull this over some. Matter of fact, let's take this down. I don't need this no more. Okay. Let's blow it up some more because me eyes. There we go. That's perfect right there. That's nice and large. Can y'all see that? Okay, it says Arabia, a large country of Asia. Right? Let me back that up. Arabia, a large country of Asia. Now, let me just say this right before I go further. Okay. Saudi Arabia is a part of Africa. Okay. Land of Ham. We use the label Africa, but in the days of antiquity, it was called the land of Ham. Okay. Now, let's go back in. It says a large country in Asia lying partly on the east, but chiefly southward of Canaan. Okay, so Arabia is southward of Canaan. Now, for all my Israel is in Africa people, we got a problem, right? We got a problem, right? Hold on a second. Where's my clip at? I lost all my clips. Wait a minute. Oh my goodness. Hold on a second. I must have shifted some things around. Oh, here we go.
Houston, we have a problem.
There we go. That's what I was looking for, right? We got a problem. We have a problem. Okay. So to all my Israel is in Africa people, we have a problem because if you want to make Jerusalem in Africa, we have to find all these other places in Africa as well. We got to find Canaan. We got to find Moab. We got to find Ammon. We got to find Idumea. We had to find all these places in Africa if Africa is Jerusalem, because according to the geographical scope of the biblical text and the historical text, all those people lived around the people of Israel. Let me give myself a clap on that one. I need to give myself a clap that time. So if Israel, if Jerusalem is in Africa, my question to you is, where is Canaan? Where is Moab? Where is Ammon? Where is Idumea? Where are the Edomites? Where are the Moabites? We're going to break all that down in this lesson, right? Okay, so stand clear. Right now. Okay. All right, let's go back in. So it says that Arabia is southward of Canaan, right? So we got to find Canaan. Now, when you go to the geographical map and you look for Arabia is supposed to be, right, southward of Canaan. And don't give me this nonsense about the maps was flipped and north is really south and south is really north. That is the most asinine statement I ever heard in my 61 years of living.
What you bringing to the table, brother?
North is south and south is north. We can't geometrically change things because it fits our narrative, brothers and sisters. Okay, now. So the Arabia is supposed to be south, right? It says southward of Canaan. So we got to find Canaan first to find Arabia. And once we find Arabia, which is south of Canaan, it says it's situated between 13 and 35.5 degrees of north latitude and between 33 and 60 degrees of east latitude from London. Now, if you're a pilot, you already know where that is. If you're not a pilot, if you know anything about geography, you don't know anything about coordinates of places and stuff like that, like legal people that tell you legal addresses, you give them a legal address, they can tell you exactly where it is, right? So they're giving you a legal address. So when you follow the legal address, you can find the place. So you can't put a legal address somewhere where it's not, because if you put that legal address into your device, it's going to take you there, and it's not going to take you to where you want to go. Okay, all right, let's get back in. So he said its greatest length from east to west is about 20 miles, and its greatest breadth from north to south is 1350. And in the north parts eastward of Canaan, it is far less than the half of any of these numbers, right? It has the Indian Ocean on the south, the Red Sea and Isthmus of Suez on the west, Canaan and Syria on the northwest and mountains of Chaldea and the Persian Gulf to the east. It's ordinarily divided into 3 parts, right? Now, so here's where you're going to get real deep, right? Y'all get your pen and pad out, right? Because you're going to write some stuff, right? You got your phone, you want to snapshot the screen, do that too, because this stuff right here, people pay big bucks to learn what I'm about to give to you in this time period for free, right? I need to get me a clip say for free. All right, this is free stuff, right? College, university stuff, right? They should allow me to give you a degree after taking this course, because this is good stuff here. All right, now, so he says that Arabia, a division containing, let me see, back up for a second. Where was that? It says it is ordinarily divided into 3 parts, right? So, number 1, Arabia Petra, right? Arabia Petra, or the rock. So now, Arabia Petra, or the rock. Does that sound familiar? In Obadiah, he said, "O thou that dwells," let me pull it up real quick, right? The clefts of the rock. All right, hold on a second. It's verse 3. All right. He says, "The pride of thy heart have deceived thee," talking about Esau, "thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock," right? "Whose habitation is high." So Esau dwells in a place, this is what he's talking about. At this time when this prophecy was spoken, Esau was dwelling in the Petra, right? Saudi Arabia, what we label as what? Arabia Petra. That was his place. So when you say the clefts of the rock, we're not talking about the Caucasus Mountains, brother. That's one West camp doctrine. It's off and it's wrong, and it's not biblically sound at all in any form, fashion, or shape, because Esau's land was south of Israel, right? Caucasus Mountains is north of Israel, right? Hit that smash again. So now we got Arabia Petra. I'm going to analyze each one of these in the future lesson, right? Right now, we're going to kind of just read, okay? All right. That's right. Saudi Arabia. Now, so it said, Arabia Petra on the rocky, thou that dwells in the cleft of the rock on the northwest, which is now called Hejaz, right? In the southwest part of this now stands the famed cities of Mecca and Medina, so much visited by the Mohammedan pilgrims. This division contained what? The land of Edom. See that? I can close the book now. We can go home. I already proved my point, but I'm going to go further, right? So, Arabia Petra is the cleft of the rock that Obadiah is referring to. Thou that dwell in the cleft of the rock. Not in the Caucasus Mountains. All right? Now. The caveman, not the caveman, brother, with all the hair and stuff. The caveman with all the hair on the arms and whatnot. Come on, One West Camp guys, y'all gotta do better than that, man. Y'all should have been graduated from that by now. So Esau dwells in the cleft of the rock. All right. This is getting too good, but I'm gonna have to close at 11, y'all. I gotta find it. I gotta find a sweet spot. Okay, all right, man. I'm just getting my feet wet now. Okay, so it says once again. He says this division, talking about the Petra, contain the land of Edom, right? Shabbat shalom, brother. Who's that, brother? Brother Curtis. Good to see you, my brother. Is that Apostle Curtis? Okay. Now, so he says that it dwells, this division contains the land of Edom, right? One more time. Somebody missing it. You better listen. You better learn today.
You gonna learn today.
This Arabia Petra, it says this division contained the land of Edom, the wilderness of Paran, the land of Cushan, etc., and seems to have been first called Arabia from its westerly situation, or the mixed tribes which inhabit it. Boom. That's what an Arab is. See, the modern society makes you believe that an Arab looks like the Iranians or the Arab immigrants. Well, they don't even classify themselves as Arabs. Okay? Now, the Arab means a mixed race. Okay, now, let's see. I want to do something real quick. Hold that thought for a second. Wait a minute. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get to that in a minute. Okay, let's continue. No, let's do this here. Okay, all right. Since I'm there, all right. Now, what I want to show you is this, right? Jeremiah. Matter of fact, let's go back for a second. Let's go to Isaiah 16. We talked about the cleft of the rock. So let's go Isaiah. Did I say Isaiah? I meant to say, yeah, Isaiah 16 and 1. Let's go to Isaiah 16 and 1. Okay, Isaiah, Yoshiyahu, Isaiah 16 and 1, right? So we're going to start there. Now, this is what the land is called, right? Okay, now let's go Isaiah 16 and 1. Let's blow it up, right? And Isaiah chapter 16, verse 1. Bring it out, right? He says, send ye the lamb to the ruler of the land from Selah, or Selah, to the wilderness, unto the mount of the daughter of Zion. All right. Now, I want to show you something, right? So let's bring up my Strongs. Before I do that, let me go back to Obadiah, right? And let me show you something real quick, right? This is going to tie the loose ends. Okay, he said, brother, you kind of jumped way out there. Okay, let's go back to Obadiah 1 and 3, right? So go to Obadiah. I got to show you this first before I show you this next revelation. Obadiah 1, right? And 3. So there's only one chapter in Obadiah. Okay, now, he says, this is the part I want you to see right here. See where it says the clefts of the rock? In the clefts of the rock. Okay, now, you got this word refuge, right? Kagab, refuge, right? Of the rocks, right? The word rock is what? See that word there? Let me bring it up so you can see, right? Salah. Salah. So the place is called Salah. The Salah, right? The loft or craggy rock. Literal or figuratively, a fortress, right? So that was Esau's place of dwelling. The fortress called Salah, the craggy rock, the lofty rock, right? Now, Isaiah 16 and 1, now this is going to come into play. So you go to 16 and 1, we're going to see now the actual word Salah, right? So send ye the lamb to the ruler of the land, right? So the ruler of the land would be Idumea or Edom of the land of Salah, right? Salah, it says, there it is, a rock city of Idumea. Woo! See that? Salah is the rock city of Idumea. So Idumea is not in the Caucasus Mountains, but Idumea is in Arabia Petra. It is a place of rock, right? Yah, my Savior. So Esau's dwelling was the clefts of the rock, the land of Saudi Arabia, Arabia Petra, which is the place. Petra means rock. Right. All right. Now, so that's where Esau dwelt. Right. Now, I mentioned that Arab means a mixed people. Okay. So let's do this real quick. Right. Okay. So you can be clear that when you say Arab, when I say that Esau was an Arab, I'm going to show you what the biblical text says about him. Okay. So let's go to Jeremiah 25 and 20. So let's go to Jeremiah 25:20, right? Flip your page over there. Jeremiah 20 and 20. Let me zoom it up real quick. Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 20 and verse, oh my goodness, Jeremiah. Wait a minute, hold on. 45. I said 20. I got the wrong chapter. It's 45. No, is it 44? Wait a minute. Hold up a second, brothers. This is, gotta look at my notes. Jeremiah 25 and 20, right? So why is it not coming up? Jeremiah 25 and 20. Oh, here we go. I was in the wrong place. Okay. Now, here we go. So now, Jeremiah 25 and 20, it says, we're not going to read the verse before that. I want to sing on this verse here. It says, and all the mingled people, and all the kings of the land of who? Us. And all the kings of the land of Philistines, Ashkelon, Azab, Ekron, remnant of Ashdod. Now, what do we see, brother? What you bringing to the table, brother?
What you bringing to the table, brother?
Right? This word here, the mingled people, right? Mingled is the word Arab. Boom. Right? So the people, and watch this now. Watch it now. Watch it. Don't go nowhere. Right? So these people that he called mingled is the Hebrew word Arab, and that's where your word Arab comes from. It comes from the word mingled people, right? He said that they were what? Mingled people, and they had kings in the land of Uz, right? How about that? Now, look at this closely. Arab, it says, means a transverse threads of cloth, or as a mixture or a mongrel race, right? So in the desert, you had Arabs or mixed people, right? That's where the Arabs originated. Our modern Arabs didn't originate in Saudi Arabia. Arab has become a terminology associated with the people that practice Islam. But the original Arabs, before there was a Muhammad, right? The Hebrews called them Arabs or mixed people, right? So Esau was an Arab, his descendants. Esau was a Hebrew, but his descendants, right? He can't. We're going to show it to you. All right. Now, so that's one. Now I'm going to show you. Oh, you saw that word Uz there, right? We're going to cover that in a minute, right? Uz. Who's from the land of Uz? All right. Now, so let's go to my next reference here. My next reference is going to be Jeremiah. This time we're going to go to verse 24. 24, Jeremiah 25 and 24. So let's bring it out. Jeremiah 25 and 24. It says, look at this verse. It says, and all the kings, right, of Arabia. Oh, we got Arab there. They use the word, which is the root. Okay. Arab, right? 6154. The root 6150 goes back to is the root, right? It says the kings of Arabia and all the kings of the mingled people, there goes the word Arab, right? That dwell in the desert, right? So these Arabian people are kings. They are Arabs that dwell in the desert, right? Now, so Arab, in one sense, is a reference to a person who lived in Arabia, but Arab in another sense is also a person who mixed with another line, right? All right, now, so from a technical standpoint, right, the lighter Arabs can be classified Arab because from the definition of the word Arab, it does means to mix. It's like the English word mulatto. Okay, now, let's go. Okay, so that's number two. So we see that the Arabs, the kings in Arabia, the kings and mingled people that dwell in the desert, right? Now, so the next verse talks about Zimri, Elam, and the Medes, right? Okay, Maddah. So Maddah technically could be classified as an Arab, okay, but they didn't embrace that terminology. The society has given them that terminology, right? Now, so let's go further. All right, let's go to my next reference. My next reference is Jeremiah. Let's just move this over here so I can move faster. Okay, Jeremiah 50 and 37. So let's go to Jeremiah 50, right? I'm gonna show you some stuff. We're gonna get real deep in a minute. Jeremiah 50 and 37. Let's go to 50 and 37, right? And is that okay? There we go. Yeah, Jeremiah 50, 37. All right. So it reads, it says, let's blow this up. A sword is upon their horses and upon the chariots and upon all the who? the mingled people, there goes that word Arab again, that are in the midst of her, and they shall become as women. A sword is upon her treasures, and they shall be robbed. So now, there goes that word Arab again, mix, right? Now, I'm going to bring it home in a minute. All right, now, somebody said, brother, bring it home, brother. I'm going to bring it home. All right, so that's Jeremiah 50 and 57. Okay, now, let's go to Ezekiel 30 and 5. Ezekiel 30 and 5. All right, Ezekiel 30 and 5. Okay, it says, and Ethiopia and Libya and Lydia and all the mingled people of Chub or Kub and the men of the land that is in league shall fall with them by the sword. Now, so you got, here goes some more Arabs. This would be in your North African territories. You got Arabs there. So question one might ask is, how did they get there? If the Arabs came from Saudi Arabia, how did they get there? Right? All right. Inquiring minds want to know. All right. We're going to answer that. Am I going to answer that in this session? Probably won't get to it today. Okay. Because I'm running out of time. All right. What time is it? Oh, I got 7 minutes left. I wanted to shut down by 11. Let's see. So let me try to get to a closing point here real quick. Okay. All right. I know y'all appetite's wet. So now let's go to Ezekiel. Oh, I read Ezekiel 30 and 5. I just read that, right? Ezekiel 35, just read that, right? Okay, now. I'll tell you what we're going to do, right? Because I'm out of time. I really can't hang around today. I would love to hang around for another hour or two, but I can't today. So I'm just going to kind of get a closing point. Let's recap in my last 6 minutes. Okay, now, so what did we learn today, right, in this session? We proved in the previous session that all that false knowledge about Esau being a so-called white man is not true, okay? And secondly, we proved that Esau, where he dwelt, was in Arabia Petra, which corresponds with what the prophecy says. He calls it what? The cleft of the rock, right? And that is the land of Saudi Arabia, which is south of Israel, which according to the biblical text, it would put it in the place where we have always believed that Israel is, right? Which is in what they call the so-called Middle East. Because if Israel is near the borders of Moab and Ammon and Ishmael, we're going to get to that the next session. I'm going to show you the Ishmaelites and all of that. Then we have to conclude that Israel can't be in Africa. Jerusalem can't be in Africa. Because all the lands that belong to the cousins in the Confederate has to be adjacent. Right? So if you make Israel, Jerusalem be South Africa, and if you go to the east of that, you go to the Red Sea. So you can't have it. You can't have an Edomite or an Ammonite unless you cross over into Saudi Arabia. Okay, maybe that's what they're teaching. All right. So, Esau dwelled in the clefts of the rock in Saudi Arabia, and the Edomites are classified as Arabs. Now, next week we're gonna go deeper. I'm gonna have a little more time, prayerfully. I might pre-record it just so I can capitalize on the time. I like pre-recording the lesson because I can go straight to my points and chop things out that I don't necessarily that's interfering with the time of the lesson. Okay, so now. So next week we're going to pick up, because remember he mentioned that there were that Saudi Arabia was divided into 3 parts, right? So the first part of Saudi Arabia was the land of Esau, was called Arabia Petra. But Esau also had a part of the next part. So the second part, I'll leave with this here. Okay. The 3 parts, you can look at that link and you can jump ahead and read ahead for next week. Okay. The second part is Arabia Deserta, right? And the third part is Arabia Felix, right? Those are the parts. And I'm going to go through those parts fast. And then we're going to amplify and open up Edom real close, right? We're going to put him under the magnifying glass, right? And we're going to zoom in on his voyages, right? And call it the voyages of Edom. We're going to show you where he went. And it'll give you some clue as to where Edomites are in the world today when we get finished with next week's session, right? So with that said, I'm going to end there. Pray for y'all got something out of this. Y'all keep my family in prayer as I go to be with the family and the loss of our cousin, loved one. And we'll see y'all again at the appointed time. Until then, shalom, Shabbat shalom, 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 shalom.